Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. I am Pharmacist Ben, sitting in for Doc today. It's great to be here. Great to have you here. We'll be taking your phone calls as we always do in a little bit at 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. Toll free if you have questions about medication, supplements, the longevity products, or if you just have a comment or you want to share a success story, we'd love to hear from you. Our number 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552, toll free. I thought we'd start the program off today talking a little bit about the medical model's favorite whipping boy, or at least one of its favorite whipping boys. That poor, demonized, disrespected, misunderstood molecule called cholesterol. Poor Mr. Cholesterol has a big-time image problem. When doctors think of cholesterol, patients think of cholesterol, it's usually not in terms of I need more cholesterol. It's usually in terms of I need to lower my cholesterol. In fact, cholesterol is so disrespected that medical professionals think it's appropriate to poison the cholesterol-making machinery, literally poisoning cells, preventing them from making this stuff. And it's about to get worse, according to the Pharmacist Letter, which is a trade newsletter that I read monthly to see what's going on in the world of pharmacy. According to the Pharmacist Letter, statin drugs are now going to be dosed not based on LDL levels. They used to say, well, we need to get your LDL levels to a certain place. Now they're not going to say that. They're going to say, we know that 40 milligrams or 50 milligrams of Zocor or 30 or 40 milligrams of Crestor, you pick your favorite statin drug, we know a certain dosage of cholesterol of a statin drug is associated with lower heart disease. So we're just going to dose you with this statin drug. And oh, by the way, in the guidelines, these are American Heart Association guidelines, by the way, the 2013 American Heart Association cholesterol guidelines. According to these guidelines, statin drugs will now be the only drugs that are recommended. They're suggesting, anyway, that doctors don't even use non-statin drugs and that they avoid using things like niacin and fish oil. They actually mention niacin and fish oil here. They say, do not routinely recommend non-statins. This is the Pharmacist Letter. Do not routinely recommend non-statins, fibrates, niacin, fish oil, etc. So they actually equate niacin and fish oil with these non-statin type drugs. The bottom line here is that you're about to, if it seemed like cholesterol lowering strategies and cholesterol lowering drugs we were just wallowing in them, it's about to get worse. And with Obamacare now, everybody on Obamacare, they're going to have these kind of formularies that doctors are going to be going from. You're just going to be going in, getting your statin drug, and going out. Now, first of all, cholesterol has never really been associated, elevations in cholesterol have never really been clearly associated with heart disease. But aside from that, if you have elevated cholesterol levels, you don't poison the cholesterol-making machinery. You figure out what's going on. The cells are cranking out so much cholesterol. And behind all elevations in cholesterol, you will find one thing, and that is blood sugar problems. Dysfunction, or dysglycemia is the technical term. It means messed up blood sugar. As diabetes and elevated cholesterol go hand in hand, elevations in cholesterol are linked clearly and closely to changes in blood sugar. Surprise, surprise, considering 30% of Americans have dysglycemia of some sort or another, probably even more, messed up blood sugar. So what do? It's simple to lower your cholesterol levels really and truly without poisoning the cholesterol-making machinery, without poisoning cells, without killing the system. Oh, and by the way, cholesterol is very important for the heart. Cholesterol is involved in muscles and muscle strength and muscle development. The heart obviously is a muscle. So lowering cholesterol to help protect the heart is crazy on multiple levels. Anyway, what do you do if you want to lower your cholesterol levels? It's simple and easy. Work on stabilizing your blood sugar. That's the ultimate way to naturally lower your cholesterol. You'll lose weight too, and your blood pressure will drop on top of all of that. And you'll live longer as well. And you'll run lower risks of degenerative disease. You won't even need a doctor. You won't even need a prescription. You won't need anything but a good nutritional supplement program like the one designed by Doc the sweeties after your meals, drink more water after your meals, get on the B vitamins, get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which is loaded with the B vitamins. Make sure you're throwing in 100 to 200 milligrams of niacin in a time-release form with your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You know, it's crazy. There's so many wonderful ways to really and truly take care of your body without this medical model, this nonsensical way of looking at health and healing in the body. We are just hypnotized by this idea, this crazy idea, really, when you think about it, that we can use a poison to change the health of the body, to make the body healthier. That we can use something that kills the cells of the body. Literally, if you were to take cells and stick them in a statin drug solution, those cells would die. These things are cytotoxic. They kill cells. To take a substance that kills cells, literally, and to expect it to get us better is just the craziest idea. On top of the fact that there's these wonderful nutritional strategies that not only work to take care of our thyroid and our hearts and our blood pressure and all the things that seem to be going wrong, not only truly help, but they're the real reasons, lack of these things are the real reasons why we had the problems in the first place. And it's just so darn easy to do. Get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If you don't believe me, okay, try it. Just give it a shot. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine is all you need to do to experience the power of a good nutritional supplement program. And one of the coolest things, by the way, about nutritional supplementation is the more deficient we are in nutrients, the faster those nutrients are absorbed, which means that if you're really deficient in nutrients, and many of us are, you get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, start sipping that stuff, and that goes right to work because it's liquid. So even if you have a digestive issue, it goes right to work. For most people, you're going to notice results within 1 or 2 doses for most people. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben sitting in for Doc. 831-685-1080 is our number, or 888-379-2552, toll free. We'll be back right after this. I'll be sitting in for the next 45 minutes or so, as I always am on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program with my good friend and colleague Doug Winfrey. Happy 2014 to you, Douglas.
Yeah, welcome to 2014. It's been a long time getting here.
That's
Took
awesome.
a whole year.
You ever feel like the Jetsons? We're in the Jetsons, you know.
You know, yeah. I mean, all you have to do is read the tech reports or watch your local news and their tech report, and it's amazing some of the stuff that's available out there.
Oh my God!
It's
just like 10 years away. Google Glasses. Have you seen those?
Yeah, there's been a big story out here that somebody down in Southern California actually got busted by the cops wearing a pair of them because she's got she worked for some company that's, dealing with it, so she had a prototype pair that she was wearing. She claimed they weren't turned on and she wasn't using them, but why would you have the stupid thing on? Well, it's because you're looking at some sort of video display while you're driving.
I got it.
So it'd be no different than if she had a small TV sitting on her dash and was watching, the local basketball game.
Well, they should figure out a way to get the Google Glasses to drive.
Well, Google's working on the driverless cars, so that
they have one. Did you know that it's driving around the country right now?
Yeah, I've seen some video on it, but
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, now that the holidays are through, I've got a CNN story here that's headlined "Holiday Myths Debunked," and what they're talking about is some of these myths that are created around holidays. You hear that between Thanksgiving and Christmas and the New Year holidays, you're going to gain 50 pounds because of all the cookies, cakes, and pies that are out there at all the parties you go to, and then also there's some issues where for years it's kind of been old wives' tales that there's more suicides around the holidays because people, if they don't get invited to a party or something, they're all depressed and they kill themselves. And then also there's been a, urban myth that the day where there's the most traffic deaths is New Year's Eve. And as it turns out, these are not true. Myth number one, they say you gain massive weight during the holidays. They say between Thanksgiving's turkey, holiday cookies, weeks of parties, you're bound to gain weight over the holidays, right? And they say people tend to gain weight, but only about 1 or 2 pounds on average. They say it may not sound so dramatic.
That's all they're admitting to.
Well, and if you continue to put that 1 to 2 on every year, and it's after say you put on 2 pounds after 10 years, that's 20, 30 pounds. They say 1 to 2 pounds only if you've got a normal body index, because people that are overweight or obese, they are likely to increase their weight by about 5 pounds over the holidays. Even children are expected to gain more if they're overweight or obese compared to those with a normal BMI. How long would it take you to gain 5 pounds or 10 pounds? Oh, probably not long.
Like a day, right?
Probably
If I
about
ate
a week or
2
two
days.
if you drank like 7 soda pops a day or something.
Serious? Oh my goodness, I could gain weight so easily. Holy cow, 5 pounds, 10
They say
pounds.
during the 6 weeks between Thanksgiving and New Year's, adults gained about 0.8 pounds. That's according to a 2000 study published in Nutrition Review. In the study, they say 14% of the overweight and obese individuals gained 5 pounds or more. And they say the big problem is not what people eat during the holidays, but it's the day-to-days, the people that are, say there are some estimates that your average American drink about 600 sodas a year. Well, I figure somebody else is drinking about 1,200 because I don't drink hardly any of them. So, and they say holidays suicides increase during the holidays. Well, according to Dr. Rachel Vreeman and a colleague, Aaron Carroll, from the University of Indiana, they have written books like "Don't Swallow Your Gum: Myths, Half-Truths, and Outright Lies About Your Body."
Wait a minute,
and health.
you're not supposed to. You're not supposed. You can. It's okay to swallow gum.
Yeah, when we were growing up, they said, "Don't swallow your gum; it'll be stuck in your stomach for 7 years." And this is just about these holiday myths. And they say, in reality, according to a British medical journal author, they say one study from Japan during the holidays from the 1970s to the 1990s, there were lower rates of suicide before the holidays. And in a U.S. study looking at 35 years of data, there was no increase in suicides before, during, or after the holidays. And as far as the holiday traffic deaths, guess which day? That actually on the list, New Year's is actually number 7. There are
Guess
other
which one's
days.
number 1?
Number 1.
Let me see if I can guess. Let me
Guess.
see if I can guess. St. Patty's Day.
No. That would be July 4th. Is with an average of 144 deaths, 130 on New Year's Eve. At ranks number 7. Other days that are ahead of that are September 2nd, which is around Labor Day, August 13th, July 15th, May 20th.
August 13th. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why, but November, maybe the start of football season. I don't know.
All right. We're coming back. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to your calls here in a minute. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. We'll be back right after this. Let's talk psoriasis, Douglas.
Let's do so.
I love psoriasis from a biochemical standpoint. I don't have psoriasis, so I'm not saying that. I don't mean to be glib about it, but from a chemical standpoint, psoriasis is real fascinating to me because we don't ever think of the skin as a biochemical structure because it looks so inert, right? You look at your skin, it doesn't look like there's anything happening, right, Doug?
It looks like I need a tan.
And it just looks kind of blank. It's sort of sitting there. But really, it's so important that we zoom in with microscopic vision. I think of Superman sometimes, how he could like see through things, or he could just like zoom in and see the molecular nature of things with his magnifying powers. And we got to look at our bodies that way, and nothing exemplifies that more than the skin because it looks so inert. It looks like nothing's happening. But from a chemical standpoint, there's these cells that are moving and secreting all kinds of biochemicals, and there's all kinds of ways that this system can break down. And psoriasis is a classic example of how this biochemistry breaks down. It happens all over the body, but the skin, because it looks so inert, is a real stark example, a real good example of the discrepancy between how things look and how things really are. They really are at the cellular level so dynamic and they're so active that it's very easy to destabilize these systems. The systems become destabilized very quickly. And all it takes is lack of nutrients or the wrong kinds of foods, and nothing exemplifies that more, Doug, than that psoriasis. Than psoriasis, or from a biochemical standpoint. I'm always fascinated with it. But this lady on CNN, this newscaster, I forgot her name. Tell us the story.
Zane Verjee. She started her career in 2000 as an anchor in Atlanta and now anchors in Europe. She was a master's degree in creative writing at Oxford University. They had a picture of her on CNN's website. Very attractive lady, but she says she spent more than a decade in her professional career with her face visible to millions each day, yet I spent a lifetime hiding. I guard a painful secret. I suffer from psoriasis. It's ravaged my body since I was 8. At its worst, my plaques look like leprosy. I feel like a leper. Yes, she actually tells a story of being in a pool at the Dead Sea in Israel, and someone asked her to get out of the pool because they were afraid she was, going to give them some sort of disease. Yeah, it really is, because reading further into this story, I have a little touch of psoriasis, and that's what kind of triggered me to understand that I have a gluten intolerance. That was my signal. When I started, I never had skin problems my entire life. In fact, even when I was a teenager, I had a little acne, but nothing like some kids. I knew a few kids that had to get cortisone shots or antibiotics and all kinds of stuff because they get infections and various things. And then suddenly I started getting this plaque, kind of scaly stuff behind my knees, and I'm like, what's up with that? And then I asked both you and Dr. Wallach about it. They go, well, you got a gluten intolerance. And I'm like, well, how'd that happen? But, I was always intolerant to it. And the sad thing about it is she goes through this whole story. Apparently, at times, hers can be so bad that the skin must be almost rotting because she says there's a bad smell associated with it. She's at times slathered Vaseline all over her to trap the smell and then wrap her body in cellophane so that people could, couldn't hear it or see it. And just a really tragic story. Well, then she ended up going to a place called George in South Africa. And in this George place, she went to some clinic that's special skin for severe skin diseases, and they had her meditating and doing all this stuff. And bottom line, she got it kind of under control. Still has flare-ups.
She's still eating gluten, probably.
One of the things they had her on was they said, I ate yogurt and bran for breakfast, salads or fish for lunch, chicken for dinner. Nothing tastes good. I yearn for Tabasco. I drink herbal tea and torrents of water. Well, most of that's okay, but the brand's certainly not dealing anything with the gluten intolerance. And that was the sad thing. Here's someone who's known worldwide, probably makes pretty good money, can afford good doctors, and yet hasn't gotten a handle on this, and it's been 10 years.
Isn't that amazing? Huh. All right. We're coming back with your phone calls. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. We're back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. 831-685-1080 is your priority line number. We do have a line open at 831-685-1080. And what do you say we take our first phone call of the day, Douglas?
Let's head to Emmitsburg, Maryland. And Carmen, you're on with pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Carmen.
Hi. Hey. I was calling for my mom. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, and myself, I have different issues than she does. My mom is 85. She's overweight. She's like 200 pounds. Well, she lost weight on this BTT twice a day for 20 pounds. In the last week and a half, she lost 20 pounds.
How'd she do it? What did she do?
I don't know. She's taking 2 BTTs, one at breakfast, one at lunch, because I was told it was one for each 100 pounds, and she was 200 pounds when she started.
Is she eating less? Is she eating less now that she's on the BTT? Does she notice she has less appetite?
I don't know, but
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. She's at my sister's house, but I've been hounding him for about 6 months to get her to drink it, but my sister wouldn't let her because she likes Zango. But anyway, and she has macular degeneration and cataracts in her eyes, and her vision's getting worse. And her thyroid was killed because she had anxiety attacks and vertigo and heart palpitations, and it was overactive. And then she also got high blood pressure, which is
hang on. I don't need to hear the grim details. Ma'am. I don't need to hear the grim details. She's breaking down, period. Doesn't matter how she's doing it. So what you need to do is start building her back up again. And this, you got a lot of stuff you got to do. Keep her on that BTT. Get her on the Healthy Start Pack. Get her on the Vision FX. Get her on the Ultimate Daily, and get her on the Z Radical. There's a lot you could do, but that's where I would be starting. She needs liquid nutrients because she's not getting nutrition somehow, and she needs lots of them. And you tell your sister, is she not on the BTT now? Did you say she's doing Zango instead?
My mom is taking BTT twice a day and Beyond Osteo FX twice a day, once morning and night, and then she's taking Glucogel 12.
Good job. That's all good. That's all good stuff.
And she 1 ounce in the morning with her BTT, and she's only drinking 2 bottles of water. And I didn't know whether to give her the body trim. Oh, and then EFA 3 times a day. So
that's all great. Stay on it. Get on the Biolumin Nightly Essence too, if I were you. Get on the Biolumin Nightly Essence. Make sure she's taking the digestive enzymes with her meals. I'd be focusing on the digestion. You're doing great, though. She lost 20 pounds. She's heading in the right direction. Did you have something you want to ask about yourself?
Yes, I tore the cartilage. And she doesn't have any Oh, well. Anyway, I tore the rotator cuff last year, taking care of my dad, and I was told to take the 15, 5, 5, and 5 of the Glucogel, and the Fucoid Z once a day.
Yeah,
three times a day, three times a day, and the BTT.
That's awesome.
Twice a day, morning and lunch, and the EFAs. And then I went back to work. My shoulder totally healed, but then I went back to work, and I couldn't be a mechanic anymore because I didn't have enough strength in my arms. And as a clerk at the post office, I had to squeeze the mail, and that's causing my shoulders to scream and my neck and my back. And I want to know, should I do the same thing or add something different, or should I add the Z Radical instead of the Fucoid Z? Or
no, stay on the whole thing. I like the Z Radical better than the Fucoid Z. If you do the Fucoid Z, that's the capsule you're talking about. You want to do it with a lot of water, and plus the Z Radical tastes good too. And by the way, Zango's not in the same league as Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Tell your sister. Thanks for your call, ma'am. Thanks so much for your call. Appreciate it. Zango is like a sugar drink. It's like have you ever had Zango, Douglas?
No, I have not.
Zango's like a sweet sugar drink. It's it's kind of tasty. It's got some antioxidants in it, but you don't want to drink a lot of it. BTT, man, nothing is like BTT, folks. Nothing. That Beyond Tangy Tangerine is the most powerful, well-designed, well-formulated, effective nutritional product, all-around nutritional product that you're going to ever see. $50 a canister. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program right after this. Don't go away.
Let's say right there in Maryland and head over to Fred. You're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
What's the good word, Frederick? Fred.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call and Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you.
Yes, I have 3 issues that I would like to, I would like to ask questions about. One has to do with my sister, the other has to do with me, and then the third one would have to do with the home-based business opportunity thing. But I would like to first start with the issue with my sister. She's on dialysis.
Okay.
At this time, and so it's like end-stage renal, and so we need help with. I watched Dr. Wallach's show a couple of weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, and he was talking about getting people off of dialysis with.
Yeah, I want to hear that too, Doug. You're going to help us with that one, Douglas.
Yes.
I want to hear Doc's regimen for dialysis.
Well, generally what it has to do with is whether there is still any urine production at all. If there is none at all, there's probably not much that can be done. But his contention generally is that it has to do with those tiny, tiny little arteries that are in the kidney, and that those could get clogged up or plugged. And so his recommendation is the normal 90 essential nutrients per 100 pounds of body weight with the Ultimate Daily capsules added.
I like that. And you know what else? One of the major reasons why these little tiny vessels are, and they are really microscopically tiny.
Afferent arteries, I think they're called.
They're capillaries, really. They're wound up really tightly in the kidneys. It's an amazing system, the kidneys, this filtering system. And they do get clogged up, as Doc says, very easily. And sugar also is a big problem. And so making sure you're on the sweeties and doing all the sugar things is very important. And then, of course, keeping the electrolytes in there, making sure that you're, I would say the BTT, personally, make sure that you're getting electrolytes. What's the next question, sir? Fred?
No, just before then, I want some clarification. Did you say, if she's making some urine, then something can be done about it, but if there's no urine production, then nothing can be done about it?
I think that's the way Doc says it. Correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
What's next, sir? Yeah,
the next one has to do with myself. I have issues with severe backache.
Okay.
Severe backache. Yes.
Okay, now lower back? Lower back?
Upper, mid, lower.
Okay, if you're sure it's the back, if you're sure it's in the muscle, it could be a lot of things. For sure, get on the Glucogel caps and the CM cream. Have somebody rub that CM cream in there, and it wouldn't hurt you to take the CM as well. Make sure you're working with your fats, your fat absorption. A lot of times when you have problems absorbing fats, you don't get your fat-soluble vitamins, and that can affect muscle development, and that can affect, cause some inflammation in there. Water is real important. You may want to have it manipulated. Get yourself on the Mighty 90. If you're not on the Ultimate EFAs, you should absolutely be on the Ultimate EFAs. It's hard to say with the back because there's so many mechanical things that can happen with the back. So it's not always going to be a biochemical nutritional thing with the back. You follow what I'm saying, Fred? It could be a pinched nerve. It could be something structural. But as far as the chemistry goes with nutrition, you want to think anti-inflammatory, you want to think fats, and you want to think building cartilage. And that's the glucogel caps, the EFAs, digestive enzymes, biolumin nightly essence, the Mighty 90. That goes without saying. That's always going to be important. Think inflammation, anti-inflammation from a nutritional standpoint. And then if it's a mechanical thing, you might have to work with that, with having it manipulated, as they say in the chiropractic world. And then what was your third point there, Fred?
No, I'm not done with the second.
Oh, you got more?
Because,
Okay.
my doctor told me I have high cholesterol.
Okay.
And there's left inguinal hernia developing.
Let's talk high cholesterol.
I know. Yeah. And then
You know what I'm going to say, sugar.
I have high blood pressure.
Okay, it's all the same. It's the same thing.
Blood pressure, and then acid reflux, indigestion.
All the same. All the same. All the same.
Too much phlegms.
Yeah, all the same. Frederick,
okay.
my friend, Frederick, we want to, I'm going to give you like a recipe for handling all of that. Your body is starting to break down a little bit. The heartburn is a sign that you're not absorbing your nutrients. That means toxins are getting into the body, into the blood, and that's probably where your back pain and all that inflammation is coming from. The high blood pressure is a sign of blood sugar. Your blood sugar's messed up. So it all starts with the digestion. Then you go to blood sugar. It's everything I just told you. Fats, fat absorption. Now you probably want to throw in some of that sweeties. Treat yourself like you're a diabetic. And get on that the Mighty 90, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If you're not already on the Mighty 90, you should definitely be on it. We got to move on there, Fred. Give me your third thing that you want to say about the business.
The third thing is, I just wanted to know about the home base, the home. Did you say home business? Something opportunity.
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. That's an awesome question because we don't talk about that anywhere near enough, Douglas, and I'm guilty of that. The home-based business opportunity for the longevity products is absolutely amazing. There's a lot of people making a lot of money, number one. But number two, you're helping a lot of people. It's much more than just making money here. You're helping make a difference in people's lives, a significant difference, not an insignificant difference, not a little difference, a huge difference, not just with the products, but with information, because longevity is about spreading the word, spreading the message. And I've been involved with longevity since 1997 or 98, a long time, and it's been that way from day one. So as far as home-based business goes, well, first of all, number one, it's just an awesome business. Number two, you're with awesome people. Number three, you're helping a lot of folks. Number four, you're going to make a lot of money. And number five, the company is getting set to blow up. So now's the time to get on board. If you've been like on the fence, you're thinking about it. It's the first of the year. It's the beginning of the year. There's folks making a lot of money. You can make a little money. You can make medium amount of money. It's all up to you, really, how much money you make. But you don't even want to think about it that way. You want to think about it as if you're thinking about making a difference in people's lives. And that's exactly what you're doing. And I cannot tell you how many times I have heard stories that just floor you. I'm used to it. People literally walking and getting out of wheelchairs when they didn't, just like an old revival would be, like an old caricature of one of those snake oil revival things. That's what really happens. I've seen the people. I've talked to the people. You go to the conventions, Doug, am I kidding? You go to the conventions. It's crazy what you hear. I lost 100 pounds. I lost 80 pounds. I was in a wheelchair 2 months ago. Some guy was going to lose his leg. You hear this story, Doug?
Yeah, I've heard a couple along those lines.
Some guy was going to lose his leg, and Doc told him just the basics, Sweeties, Mighty 90, they were going to cut his leg off. And 2 weeks later, he's like completely a healed man. He's bounding up the stage at the convention. And so not only do you make money, not only is it a potentially very lucrative business, but on top of that, you're making a big difference in people's lives. And I hope, does that sound good? Does that answer your question there, my friend?
Yeah, but how do you get started? Where do you get information and stuff like that?
You got somebody out there in Maryland. Douglas, how can we help this guy?
what you want to do is whoever you heard about the business from, whoever's, if you're signed up as a distributor, whoever signed you up, that's the person you want to start with. But there are a lot of.
I don't know where to go to start. I haven't
are you signed? Are you signed up as Are you signed up as a distributor?
Yeah, I mean, if there's that opportunity, we only had the program on TV, and so we don't have anybody to talk to or anybody.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of. What city do you live in?
We're in Bel Air.
Okay, is anywhere close to Salisbury?
Close to where?
Salisbury, Maryland.
I don't know. It's just close to Baltimore.
Oh, there's got to be tons of people out there. You know, why don't you send me an email? Fred, send me an email and I'll get you somebody, all right? Put your phone number in there, ben@ksco.com, all right? Fred? Do we have Fred? Did you hear that? I hope Fred heard me. ben@ksco.com. Thanks, Fred. Appreciate it. Hope we helped you out. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We've got one more segment to talk to you at 831-685-1080. I'm Pharmacist Ben, sitting in for Doc, along with Doug Winfrey. We'll be back after this. All right, we're back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. I am Pharmacist Ben, sitting in today for Dr. Wallach. Got one more segment to talk to you at 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. Who's next, Douglas?
Let's head to Morrisburg, Tennessee. And Roy, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Roy.
Hi.
Roy? You don't sound like Roy.
Appreciate you guys taking my call here. You all have a Happy New Year there.
Hey, Roy.
The problem I have here, Ben, is my wife. She's 68 years old. She's 5'9" tall, weighs 170 pounds. She's been on dialysis about 6 months now. She's type 2 diabetic and got high blood pressure.
Yeah, you got that metabolic syndrome. You ever hear that term, metabolic syndrome? That's when the whole body breaks down after the blood sugar gets whacked out. So you got a blood sugar problem. Now, we were talking about dialysis earlier, and I guess Doc is saying, is there urine coming out? Do you have urine?
Yeah, she still makes water.
Okay, so she's still passing water. Then I think Doc has gotten people off of dialysis. Is that right, Douglas?
Yes, he has. Yeah,
and
he's even gotten people off the heart transplant list.
That's pretty amazing stuff, and it's really nothing more than the Mighty 90, and there's nothing really special about it. You know, get on the Mighty, do the Mighty 90. Make sure you're on your essential nutrients. Focus on blood sugar issues. As you know, how old is your wife, by the way?
68.
Okay. Overweight?
170. She's 5'9" tall. So
gotta lose some weight. Gotta lose some of that body fat, and change the way she's eating. Stay off of the breads and the pastas and the fruit juices and all that kind of stuff. That's really where you get messed up, is when you start eating these foods that we all love to eat, and we don't get the nutrients to process them. And so it's nothing really dramatic. There's no anti-dialysis formulation. It's just good old nutrition and stabilizing that blood sugar. Make sure she's on the Mighty 90. Make sure she's doing the BTT. All that stuff comes together as what's called a syndrome. A syndrome is when you have multiple systems breaking down. And that's how the body breaks down. It breaks down as a syndrome. I love the term metabolic syndrome. That's what they call it, metabolic syndrome. Metabolic just means chemistry. So it's chemistry syndrome. It means everything that can go wrong goes wrong. Whatever can go wrong in your chemistry goes wrong. It's basically the body falling apart. And that's why you have the high blood pressure, and that's why you have the blood clotting. You haven't said blood clotting, but chances are she's got sticky blood. And then you get the kidney problems. It all breaks down as a system. And so what you want to do is you want to focus on the Mighty 90. Focus on, even before that, get into the digestive system in addition to the Mighty 90. I love that Biolumin Nightly Essence, making sure the gut flora, you've got the right kind of bacteria in the gut. Your gut flora have been stabilized. Making sure she's using enzymes, digestive enzymes after meals. So these are all going to help her process nutrients, and that's one of the really neat things about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, by the way, is that it bypasses digestive problems that we all deal with. We're all dealing with these kinds of breakdowns in the body. All human beings break down somewhat generically. And that's why if you listen to this program or you listen to my program, The Bright Side, you'll kind of hear the same things over and over again. on? It's because the body breaks down generically. It's nothing fancy. It's really nothing fancy. It means focus on the to repair anything, to adjust anything. Number one, focus on the digestive system. That means the digestive enzymes. That means biolumin nightly acids. That means the Z-radical, very underappreciated product for the digestive system. The glucogel caps, another underappreciated product for the digestive system. Make sure that you're using liquid nutrients to drive those vitamins and minerals into your body. Despite any lack of enzymes or lack of bile or gallbladder problems, to drive that stuff in there. And then make sure you're stabilizing your blood sugar. Get on the sweeties. Everybody pretty much needs the sweeties, all right? Everybody. It doesn't matter if you're diagnosed as a diabetic or not. I don't have diabetes. I take the sweeties every day, especially if you're diabetic or have blood sugar problems. Drink more water, as I say, after meals, especially sugary meals, sweet meals. Drink more water first thing in the morning. Make sure you're using zinc and vitamin A. Wonderful blood stabilizing nutrients. You get all these in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, by the way. Vitamin E is very important for stabilizing blood sugar. The B vitamin-like substance, choline, niacin. There's so many things for blood sugar. And then make sure you're working with your adrenal glands, your stress glands. Relax, deep breathe, take it easy. Learn to activate the relaxation nervous system. That's where good health comes from. That's where healing comes from, is when we activate that parasympathetic relaxation nervous system. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for listening. For Doc Wallach and for Doug Winfrey and all the folks at ZBS Radio Network, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful, awesome, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.